Risk on, that's the theme of 2024. And today we're going to talk about two high-risk assets. They're in the news every single day. Yes, you got it. That's Bitcoin and the S&P 500. Both are at all-time highs, just surfing. And now we're going to look at what's going to happen for this thing to continue their moves up, or if we're going to come down. So let's take a look. Before we get started, I want to say one thing. I'm a trader, not a content creator. I'm here to make money and help you do the same, not put all kinds of fancy buttons and whistles all over my videos. So this video is going to be one take, straight through, no editing. We're just going to make it happen. So if you're interested in making money, pay attention and like and subscribe right now so you can get the next video, because there will not be any pop-up reminders anywhere through here. All right, so let's get to it. Let's make some money. On the left side, we have the SPX or S&P 500. That's what we're going to look at, which is the actual index. We're not going to look at the futures because the SPX is the actual index and it rules the roost, people. The futures have they're simply a derivative of SPX. We have rollover and a lot of other things that are involved with that. So we're just going to get away from all that and go straight to the horse's mouth. We're going to go straight to the index. On this side, you can see Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is reaching. We've reached new all-time highs once again. Now, what's interesting is every time Bitcoin wants to make a new high, it sells back off. So, I'm hoping that this doesn't do this at this point, and we're going to dig a little bit deeper to find out exactly what it needs to hold to continue its sustained move. And the same with SPX. So let's go down one more time frame. Now, for those of you guys who are in the Discord room and you're in the SubStack, I've been saying on both of these, support is a little frothy, especially over here on the SPX. The S&P 500 has been marching up for quite some time. This is a record-breaking rally, people. I mean, this is a weekly chart, and we've literally had 3 red weeks that didn't account for much within this massive push up. Out of 22 weeks, we've had 3 red weeks. It's pretty incredible. So, at this point, the high time frame support over here is looking pretty frothy. Okay. Now, the same thing for Bitcoin. I mean, this thing has just had an amazing rally all the way from the lows down here, right around 15, 16,000. This thing has just pushed up something nasty. We're not going to focus on what's going on down here. We're going to focus on more about what happens up here and what it needs to hold to make this happen. So I trade the S&P 500 every day. I trade the ES futures and SPX. I also trade Bitcoin and crypto. I'm a big crypto guy. I've been in it since 2016, 2017. So I am constantly monitoring these two products. Okay, these things are pretty much what I do. Okay, so first things first. And what's kind of interesting is the position that we're in right now from a daily perspective. These two look extremely similar. And I'm just going to go ahead and break this down for you, just to kind of get ahead of myself here. But what's interesting is both of these here are starting to look like they want to top a little bit, and we do have some support right here. And it's interesting how they've both lined up pretty nicely together. So first things first, let's just go ahead and look at Bitcoin. It's on everybody's mind. This rally has been incredible. We've had all this institutional buying from the BlackRock and the other Fidelity's ETF. And so this is really the hot topic right now. Okay, guys? So let's go ahead and get into it as we speak. So, we've been riding this thing up for quite some time. And I just made a video for the Substack a few days ago about alt season because, my assumption is that we are going to percolate up here for a while on Bitcoin before we make our next move up. Or at least I hope so. I'm sweating a little bit today, but, we're going to go over that for sure because, I rolled a lot of my crypto into altcoins. And so, it's alt season and I've had all the right cues to say that this is the right move. But this pullback in Bitcoin, it's a little scary because, we're playing around up here at the all-time highs. The really nice spot, the spot that would be fantastic, that, it would be terrible, but fantastic all at the same time, would be a pullback into this 46.8 down into the 42.4. So really just call it 45,000, 44, 45,000. This would be the bread and butter, right? Now, will it happen? I don't know. Will it happen right now? I don't know. I don't think so, to be honest with you. I think everybody wants that to happen. And so more than likely it won't happen. Just like everybody wanted, 12,000, when we were down here at 15. I was one of them. I'm not going to lie. I bought all up in here, but I was willing and able to buy way lower. And this thing kind of got away from me. So now here we are way up here, all right? We're new all-time highs. We're just chilling. And we have basically played this weekly up here at 65.5, and it's holding so far. okay? But we're going to go down another time frame just to take a better look. And as you can see, I've marked these all-time highs from both April 21st and November, which we've already pulled back underneath the new all-time high, which is not necessarily concerning, but you know, to keep momentum up, we want to stay above these all-time highs, right? I mean, that's the idea, okay? So for those of you who don't understand my color coding, you know, these solid lines here, these are monthly levels. They're derived from a monthly time frame, and this weekly is this dash level is a weekly. The red means that they're already tested, but they are significant. They could play again, and I'm looking for price to stay above those or below those. So for me, this is huge. If Bitcoin gets under 58.790 ish, we are coming all the way back down into the 45s. So I really want them to hold this area up here. Okay, this would be huge for us for the continued movement up. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at this daily time frame, guys. All right, so as you can see, these all-time highs here, I have these marked, but I'm going to pull out my pen just so that you guys can understand, you know, the way I look at this thing here. So right now, we played this weekly level top down right now at 65,510. It was a great touch, okay? As you can see, it played it perfectly right here, okay? The only issue is that the pop didn't give us the sustained pop that we really wanted to continue our move higher, right? Now, it doesn't mean that it won't, but for right now, you know, it's looking a little soft. However, within this move here, we have a daily level at 68,359. This is the important above or below, guys. We need to get above or below this. And then after that, it would be 73.21 for a move up. Now, here is our current leg that we are in. Here is our untested daily level right here at 63,796, which is 63.8, okay? I am waiting for this to get tested. So I went through quite a few altcoins. I use all the altcoins to kind of help me put a picture of the puzzle together. And I say, okay, I have all this, you know, do they all have a level coming in relatively close to where Bitcoin could come? And the answer is yes. So, you know, I'm not overly concerned right this second. I really wanted this weekly to play at 65, but ultimately, you know, I could see a dip down into this 63.8 area here and then a pop back up. However, this has got to hold, guys. I mean, this is a really important spot here for us, because if this doesn't hold, and granted, the leg comes all the way down into here, but, you know, if this gets below this 58, we're going to slip really hard. Right? And this is not just a tiny little move here, guys. I mean, we've already come, you know, fairly far. You know, that's 12% off the highs. If we come down here, so far we are about 9% off the highs. But if we come all the way down into the 45 land, I mean, we're talking 35%. Now, is that possible to happen? Absolutely, it's possible to happen. I sure as shit hope not, because I'm balls deep on altcoins and I will get wrecked. So I just want to point that out. Like, I'm looking at this, I'm like, oh man, like, I really hope she holds here, okay? So I wanted to do this video because I know there's a couple people out there that are in my same predicament, especially guys in my room. I mean, we have ridden the crypto wave 3 times now, and this is a very unique situation with the ETFs and stuff. Some of the altcoins have really rallied already, and some of them are just poised to blast off. And you know, I did a video on the SubStack talking about my 3 top picks, and a lot of them are coming into the great levels right now that, you know, we were looking at. So, you know, I'm not overly concerned. You know, now's actually the time to, you know, maybe gobble some things up on the altcoin side. What I really want to see happen is this daily leg here, right? I want to see this hold. Okay, and I don't care if Bitcoin just sits up here and does this. It could never move higher as far as I care. You know, I do think that Bitcoin does have an upside move left. I mean, I do think it's possible. I mean, again, we're talking all-time highs, so nobody really knows how far it's going to go. But just based off of demand and what we can see, we've been up here a couple different times. I mean, more than likely we're going to go to 100 grand. Do I know that? No, of course I don't know. Like, no way to know. I mean, but I feel like the demand is there, the hype is there, it's all there, institutional money's flowing into it. But in order for altcoins to really run, you know, we want Bitcoin to chill out, and we don't want Bitcoin to fall, but we want it to kind of base sideways, okay? Base sideways or slowly move up, okay? That will let money flow out of Bitcoin and into the altcoins. And so, you know, like I said, I'm super deep on the altcoins right now. So this is the leg that I'm watching for Bitcoin. I want this to hold. If this holds, I honestly want new highs, okay? But the biggest area that we have to watch is the 68,359. We really needed to get back above this once this leg plays. if this 63.8 does not hold, we could slip down into here. Now, again, I said these are tested. These are 2 monthly levels, right, and a weekly, and they're so very important, guys. Let's just, one more time, let's just show you where these are derived from so that you understand. This is the support over here, and this is the support, okay, for the previous all-time highs. When you bust it down to a weekly time frame, you could see, this is just massive support here, okay? And then even more so when you look at it on the daily, you can really kind of get in there and you can see, okay, this is huge, all right? This is even where they popped up and lost it. This is all big, right? So again, this is a massive area that when they got back above, they actually back tested it and made new highs. So I think we'd be hard pressed to get through this, especially right now. I think this is a little bit of profit taking up here, and I'm really hoping that this daily area holds. I'm really hoping. If not, I'm going to get wrecked. Right? So, but it's okay. It's okay. Like, we've all been through this before. It's fine. Throw some more money at it, fix itself, right? So, with that being said, we really want this leg to hold, and then just to kind of percolate back and forth sideways. And so now that we've talked about this Bitcoin area, now I want to show you the S&P 500. It's oddly similar. Now, we went through a couple years of Bitcoin and the S&P essentially tracking each other and going back and forth, literally almost tick for tick. We've had that disconnect recently, actually as of last year. The markets were rallying, crypto wasn't. And then recently, Bitcoin has just been going bananas. And yes, of course, we're making new all-time highs in the ES, but they're not exactly correlated like they were. I actually had a video many moons ago where we went through with the hour chart, and it was literally almost tick for tick identical. So we're not getting that anymore. So thankfully, there is a disconnect, because we used to joke about how, well, you don't need to trade both assets. You just trade one because they're both doing the exact same thing. And it was so true. It was insane. So here we are now, and we finally have two different assets, right? They're moving separate of each other. But this particular predicament looks very similar. So let's go over to the ES, guys. For all my crypto peeps, that's what I got, okay? I'm just gonna show you here on this, on this particular time frame, this daily time frame. This daily's got to hold, guys. All right. If not, we have these areas down here that very well could hold. This is the previous tops. And really underneath 58.7, this thing's going to come all the way down. We've got some support here. Wouldn't surprise me to get a pop from this particular area where we launched. 52.275 is probably a good spot. But the real juicy spot, the high time frame spot you want to be looking at, is about 45K. Let's just keep our fingers crossed it doesn't happen, because I would be like, oh no, it would be ugly. All right, so now let's take a look at the let's take a look at the SPX, because the synchronicity, or the way they look the same, is pretty uncanny. So check this out, all right? So here we are with the SPX. Let's do it again. Let's just take it way back, all right? Look at this thing. This thing's ridiculous, right? So this is another one that's just way overextended, way outside of value. This is Fed pump all written all over it. We've had one of the most, insane rallies in a long time, especially in a rate raising type of environment. This has really caught a lot of people off guard. They were talking about recessions and all kinds of shit. And, this thing's ripping. I think his name was David Rosenberg or Rosenberg, whatever. He was an economist on Twitter who I follow. This guy's been talking about, we were way down here, and he was talking about we were going to go to like 6,000 or something. So far, he's looking like a genius. And there's no telling how far this can go. And we keep drawing fib levels, and they keep hitting our targets, and they keep going higher. So, but one of the things that I do keep telling people, and it's the same for Bitcoin, that, the support's looking frothy up here, right? This is all we got on Bitcoin. Really, this is all that's untested. And underneath this thing is dead. Well, I don't say dead, but it's gonna be ugly, right? So, with that being said, we're looking at the same exact thing over here for the S&P, right? So right now I have a weekly level at 50.26. That's 100 points from where we're at. Okay, that's far, right? And then underneath that is 47.78. People would freaking lose their shit if we come all the way down here. And what's funny is this is simply where the previous all-time high was. But man, if we end up coming down here, we lost 400 points, people would fucking lose it, right? So I hope so. I hope it happens. And again, that's because I'm not leveraged to the balls. on stocks and stuff, whereas I am on cryptos. I don't want that to lose it. But good Lord, look at this pump. I mean, we need to pull back into value. So I've showed you from the weekly time frame. The monthly looks even more insane, right? So now let's take a look at the daily. Okay, for those of you guys who don't know what my color code is, I will stick a link in the description that goes to my Substack that talks about all this. But essentially, pink are untested dailies, purple is untested weekly, gray means it's a tested daily, and red means it's tested but it's significant to be above or below. Okay, and the solid line, just like the other one, is the monthly. It's the same color code I use for every chart, guys. So if you're watching my videos and you've seen a chart from that was looking at Alibaba, it's the same exact color code. That's the beautiful part about this. No matter what videos you watch, once you understand what I'm doing here, it's all the same. Okay, so check this out. All right, so here we are with the SPX, right? So we have been walking ourselves up pretty nicely, right? Woo, okay, here we go, right? We're going. All right, so here we are. So this is our last previous all-time high. And, we actually had a nice little dumperoo over these past 2 days. And we put this out for the room when it was happening, as it was happening. And I wanted to show you this too because I thought it was kind of cool. We talked about this the previous day. But as you can see, and I'm going to show you guys this, and we knew this was coming way in advance, this is our 4-hour level of 5182, which I'll show you on this chart. We needed to gain this 4-hour level. Otherwise, we're going to force new lows. Well, when I had a personal training session, so I didn't get this out when we were up here, but 5143 is when I put this out, right? Possibility they may make new lows. So check this out. Here we are. All right. That was way up here, right? So here we are. Now, when I say make new lows, I'm talking about underneath this guy here, okay? So once again, here is that significant 4-hour. They popped up. They couldn't gain it. Okay, time to make new lows, because if you can't make a new high, you've got to make a new low to pick up buyers, right? It's just how it works, right? If you couldn't make a new high after this whole push, I'm sorry, brother, you got to come back down. All right. So with that being said, let's take a look at from a daily standpoint and look at what's important for us to get above or below. Okay. So check it out. Here we go. So here's what I got. All right. So this is a very significant. This is our daily leg up right here. 50.7865. This would give us our new low that we just talked about and play this, and could take us all the way back up. The only levels that we'll have to worry about, and we'll have to figure that out as we get there because we don't know what's been tested currently, on our way down, is the 5123 is technically untested right now. We'll see what happens on Monday. And then obviously when we get up into here, these are our two dailies that we need to get back above. However, if they hold this 5178, the daily leg to the all-time high, it should produce another all-time high. If it does not, okay, we could, if they end up losing 5078 for whatever reason, we could roll back down in here to the 5026. If you guys recall, the 5026 was the only weekly support I told you that I actually had, which was right here. Okay, so underneath 5026 from a weekly time frame, we come way down here. Okay, so the support up here is getting frothy, guys. I'm just going to keep it real. All right, so let's just take a look at this. So we got 5078. If 5078 doesn't hold, we've got a top-down daily and weekly at 5026. I like this spot. I really do. I like this spot a lot. However, the leg inside this is right here at 4963. Okay, so we've really got a couple places that we're watching for. 3 in particular. Okay, we've got 78, 31, and 26, and then 4963. Below 49.25, it is over. And really, you could, this is all part of this. It's hard for me to say underneath 53 it's over. It's because it's really, you got to be underneath this way. I'm going to call it 25, but really I would not want it to get below 53. It might just be done after that point. So, but definitely under 25, she's got some serious problems, guys. Really, really serious problems. Under 25, she could honestly slip all the way down here to 78. There's a little support in here that may play. This is a nice leg up. Actually, I believe that the level is about right here, if I recall. Yeah, that looks right. But ultimately, underneath this weekly, we would have an extremely hard time getting back above once you get underneath it, and I would probably be looking for a move down in here. So I guess what I wanted to show you guys, which was more important than anything, was, and let me pull back into the 4-hour here for Bitcoin. So we've got this daily leg up, right? And here's our leg in, untested. Right? Look, check this out and then look, this was the pop up off of here. They failed to make that high and they came down, right? Okay, cool. Right? So check this out. Same thing. Failed to gain. This is the leg up. Now we're going to come down. We're going to make new lows more than likely, as long as this doesn't hold, which I do not think that it will. We had a pretty soft close, so we'll see. If it holds, then fine. We go all the way back up and let's watch this. If not, then we really need to be focusing on 5078. 5078 needs to hold, and it needs to pop us all the way back up if they're going to continue this ride. Okay, so I just thought it was interesting how we had this daily leg up. We had this untested daily down here on the S&P. On Bitcoin, we had this daily leg up. We have this untested daily right here. And this is so important for both of these assets to hold. I mean, these look so very similar when you look at them side by side like this. So anyways, I just wanted to share my perspective of this. These are two assets that I'm looking at every single day. I'm highly invested in Bitcoin. I'm highly invested in altcoins. And my product of choice, the product that I trade every single day to feed my family and pay my bills, is the SPX, right? SPX, ES Futures. This is my boo, right? These are my babies. So I am watching these things like a hawk. So I hope that this helps you guys kind of understand where we're at and what's going on. I'm not going to flip through a bunch of altcoins, but just trust me when I tell you they all kind of look the same with the daily legs or the legs they're set up to be played. So I'm not overly concerned yet. As long as this 63,800 holds, this area holds, this leg right here on Bitcoin, I'm fine, right? I think it's great. For the S&P, I am definitely not long right now. Actually, I'm flat on the day. I am a little concerned about the S&P only because we've been moving up for so long. I'd love to see a little bit of pullback. At this point, not sure we're going to get it. I just keep buying everything. Every time we pull back into support, I just keep grabbing it. So we had some nice shorts here yesterday and the day before. But again, it's almost time to start looking for longs again. So again, with SPX, we got these 3 levels. Bitcoin, you got this 1 level, and then really above or below this weekly here. So that's what we need to keep track of, guys. I hope this helps. Enjoy. Have a great weekend. Don't worry about the markets. They're always going to be here. Monday is a new day. I hope this helped, and I'll see you later. Cheers.